The race, which is the title of this video, and unfortunately, it is mandatory in our lifetime. So why is it mandatory and why is it even a thing in the first place? It is something that we're gonna go through right now without any script, of course. Let me just close everything not to get distracted. So I don't know if I should look here or look here, look at myself or look at the camera. You can tell me, but in any way, the race is not a problem, and I see nowadays that a lot of people on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook and whatnot, they make it look like, or they make it seem like, the race is something that you should not go through as a human being. While we understand that we live in a very capitalist world, going through the race is not something that is bad, and it's not a shame at the same time, as long as you are providing for yourself what you need based on your standards. Now, of course, the higher the standards, the higher the things you are going to be willing to own, and the higher the thought process that you have to go through in order to reach that level. The difference between you, who is maybe jobless, and somebody who is a multi-trillionaire is that that trillionaire definitely at that point they definitely did inherit it. If somebody is making so much money, that means that they worked hard for it. Just giving the analogy with a multi-trillionaire is not the best, but in any way, so given that, it is very well known that there is no difference between the two, as we are all human beings. And I have personally in my life met people with a lot of money, and I have known a lot, and I still know many, and some of them are close friends of mine, some of them I just try to push them back, because it just going through this spectrum of people showed me what human beings really are and what money does to an individual's brain. What does it do, if you may ask? It's quite simple. It does ruin your mentality, regardless if you are coming from a rich family or not from a rich background. So regardless of what it is, depending on your standards, of course, depending on your standards, of course, it changes. And why does it change? It changes because people get caught up into their own mind and building up some kind of delusional ego that ruins their circle. That is why I have met people in their late 50s, late 40s, who are with money, a lot of it, but they have problems maintaining friendships and relationships. Why does it happen? I mean, you can say that, he has his money, she has her money, it doesn't matter, like people don't actually matter in their lives. But no, we are humans, and humans, if you are just an intellectual individual just a little bit, you will understand that we are sociable creatures, and we need people to proceed in our life. Which means what? We are forced to have friendships and relationships in our lifetime. And my cat just jumped somewhere. So, why is that mandatory? It is mandatory because we cannot live without other people. And that is why every business in the world is based on the trade between two people. Regardless if it is a company or not, if it is a B2B or B2C, it does not matter. It's still a connection between two individuals or two people or two groups of people in general. So people who are speaking, or these kinds of humans who are speaking a lot about the race and what you should do and what you should not do, blows my mind always. Why? Because they degrade your effort, or they completely not see what's your background, they completely not see what you are doing, and they just, as I said in the previous video, what's the word again? Judge you. So they just keep judging you, and the more they judge you, the more they see you as a person who is of a lower self or lower standards or lower whatever. And my cat is screaming, he always does that, don't mind him. So he just want to go outside. Anyway, speaking of that, we can understand that judging is not something that is good. All right? And as a person who works, for example, you might be working from your normal job, or you might be just doing night shifts or whatnot. As long as you are fine with that, there is nobody in the world that can come to you and tell you that you are doing shit, or what you're doing is shit. Why? Because first of all, nobody understands your struggle same as you understand them, and second, nobody gone through the same shit that you have gone through, and third, nobody really understands what's your aim anyway, because there are a lot of people that have been just complete normal job people, and then at some points they became super big, but because they had a vision. The point I'm trying to make is that person who had a vision and that person who does not have a vision, in the spectrum of human beings, there is no difference between the two because they're both humans. Just one with a passion, a vision, and one with nothing. Maybe that person will, and in both cases it's not bad. So that person who does not have a vision might have a goal of just providing for himself, for his family if he has one, for his children if he has some, and that's it, and it stops there. And for him, that's a fulfilling life. And the other person is thinking, maybe I need to have a lot of numbers in my account, a lot of things to own, a lot of things to buy, a lot of things to do whatever, just to fulfill my needs, and that's it. And of course having a family and blah blah if they have those. So the difference between these people is somebody with a vision and somebody with no vision. And the guy with in the race with no vision is no different from the guy who is outside of the race with a huge vision. And of course, in this case, if they have made it out themselves. They have made it themselves, as they call it. So, yeah, this is it. And there is the other point of, I personally understand the struggle of a lot of people dealing with just seeing everybody making money on the internet, and you literally feel like you are the only one who does not make any, regardless of how much money you make. You can make $1,000, $100,000, $1 million. There is always somebody who is making 10 times that. And the more they make, the more they show you, and the more they show you, the more you just feel like you are not doing anything, which is completely bad for your brain and for your mental health in general. And if you say, mental health is bullshit, well, my friend, you're completely wrong. Because this is the engine that we literally use to do everything. And if it's not healthy and completely okay, which is quite rare for it to be completely okay, but anyway, if it is not as much as okay, or just as much as okay as you can make it become, or whatever English that is, anyway, you get the point, you will suffer. I've heard a lot of things on the internet, and a lot of speeches and a lot of interviews on the internet, and of course in podcasts and whatnot. A lot of people deal with, they are on the grind, they are putting their heads down on the grind, doing this, doing that, making the money, but then the socializing aspects of the social aspects of their lives is completely screwed. Why is it screwed? Because of course they are not focusing on anything else but the money, and not even focusing on themselves. Why? This is the unhealthy relationship that a person can have with themselves. Okay, we're gonna listen to him a bit. He really does not want anything. He does that for like the past 2 years. That's all he does. If somebody understands what's this, please let me know. I try to understand. I searched many, even with the vet. It's like it's his normal habitat. So I cannot help him out. I love him though. He's so cute. Anyway, so this unhealthy relationship that you might have with the money just to run away from the race can affect your life, can affect your lifestyle in general. Because if you're just making money and not having no close friends, no good relationship with a girl or a guy, depending on your interests, if you're not having a good relationship with your family, if you're not having a good friendship and a good socializing life and a good network in general, you are completely lost. Or if you see everybody as a business partner, so like you do not allow anybody to be in your life if it's not about business. This is the idea that this generation of, influencers are trying to push, or money influencers are trying to push, but it is completely wrong. It is completely wrong, because these people that say this are the ones that you find them in their 30s, 40s, and 50s speaking like that, with no family members in their surroundings, with no with no family members in their surroundings, with no relationships, with no friendships and whatnot, and because all they see is business, and they just realize it very, very late in their lives, and it's basically just too late. So, what to do? I am not here to tell you what to do. I am here to let you think about what you're doing. and give you just the reality of things. This is the reality of thinking that everything is business, and this is the reality of knowing that the race is okay and not doing the race is completely okay. Nothing is better than the other, or no one is better than the other. You that makes $1,000 and the other one that makes $10,000 and the other one that makes $100,000, there is no difference between all of these three categories, because each one of those is a human being, and each one of those have or provides their own values and standards and bring their standards into the table in their specific personal ways, which is beautiful to see. A person that makes 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million, 2 million, 5 million, I don't know what is it, is no better than nobody who works as a janitor or works in sewers or works flipping burgers. It does not matter who they are. It does not matter what they do. What matters is them as a person. And this is how to build a very good relationship between you and yourself first, and you need to be very clear with this, and then you can push forward into having a vision, push forward with having a good aim, a good goals, bigger this. A lot of people aim with a lot of things. Maybe a lot of people just want to have a 9-to-5 somewhere and then grind in what they do. Some people want to do a 9-to-5 to save some money and go do their business. Some people just want to live not doing any job and just stay homeless. It is a personal choice, and it is not to be blamed or judged by anybody. And this is exactly what a human being should be, and this is exactly what humanity should do, and what your parents, your friends, and your surroundings should be thinking of all the goddamn time, or you will be blamed for everything you do, and regardless of what it is, regardless be it good or bad, and plus you will start losing people. Because it's just life, and I don't make the rules, I just play the game, and it is what it is.